Unit 7: Consumer Credit and Consumer Protection. Welcome to the Financial Literacy course, which was created within the Financial Literacy International Program funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. This university course has been designed in cooperation of 3 European universities: Masaryk University, Czech Republic; Vienna University of Economics and Business, Austria; FOM University of Applied Sciences, Germany. The course not only aims to teach university students about financial literacy, but actually applies the financial literacy knowledge in practice and helps to spread financial literacy among others. The course comprises 12 units. The course materials are open source. However, the original logos, acknowledgements, and funding needs to be included at all times if the materials are reused. Learning objectives: characterize consumer loans and implications of having debt, explain how consumer credits work, discuss consumer protection law implications and understand credit requirements and obligations of financial institutions. Identify the malpractice behavior regarding consumer credits. Consumer credit. Loans. Let us start with the question what a loan is before we take a look at the basics of loans. Loans refer to when one party gives money to another on the condition that it is paid back, typically with interest at a certain time in the future. The terms of the loan determine what that interest rate will be, how long the borrower has to repay the money, and sometimes place additional stipulations on the funds, including how the proceeds are used. Main characteristics of debt capital. To understand the basics of loans coming on the following slides, it is important to get a deeper understanding of the characteristics of debt capital. Criteria and characteristics of debt capital. Legal status. Debt capital constitutes a debt obligation. Liability. The consumer can be held liable in his role as debtor with his total assets. Remuneration. The provider of outside capital is eligible for repayment of capital provided plus an interest rate. Availability. The debt capital is generally available for a limited period. Limitation. Debt capital is limited by the estimation of the risk involved with the capital provision and the possible securities. Effect on liquidity. Payments due irrespective of cash situation. A crucial term in connection with loans is creditworthiness. The creditworthiness has the greatest influence whether a person receives a loan at all and on what terms. The following topics are included in the personal creditworthiness. First, monthly budget surplus. Income such as salary minus expenses such as rent, etc. Second, balance sheet. Assets like real estate minus liabilities like mortgages, etc. Third, previous payment behavior, mapped by the account management and/or credit agencies like Schufa in Germany. When taking out a loan, it is important to ensure that the monthly constant rate must be borne by the budget surplus. The rate should therefore be selected so that it can be borne even in the event of unexpected events. For example, higher expenses due to an additional electricity payment. The rate reduces the possible budget surplus and leads to worse loan terms when borrowing again. The duration of the consumer loan should be at least equal to the lifetime of the financed asset. Otherwise, one has to repay the loan although it has no value anymore. This leads to a creditworthiness again, so that in worst case, a future loan application will not be approved. There are two main factors on the total credit cost: the duration and the interest rate of the loan. As you can see in the right table, the longer you repay the loan, the higher the total costs are, even if the interest rate is constant. The higher the interest rate is, the higher your credit costs are. This is the reason why everyone should pay attention to his credit worthiness. The two variables, interest rate and duration, have an adding influence on the credit costs. In our case, the difference in the cases shortest duration, lowest interest rate, and longest duration, highest interest rate is more than 2,000 euros.